When Josh was convicted of receiving and possessing millions of people, many of them survivors of abuse or longtime critics of his controversial family, breathed a collective sigh of relief. There was a brief hope that after months of trial coverage, we wouldn't be forced to see or hear about Josh again until he comes up for parole sometime in the next 20 years. Unfortunately, that has not been the case. Josh is currently appealing his conviction, which means he'll soon be back in court and back in the headlines. In the meantime, the media fascination with his case has persisted. This ongoing interest is largely the result of new information about his first trial. Evidence that was presented to the jury is now being made available to the public. Some might feel that as much as they would prefer to look away, they simply can't help themselves. The world cannot resist confirming their worst suspicions by examining this further proof of Josh's depravity. Earlier this week, photos of the office where Josh downloaded materials, CSAM, were published by UK tabloid The Daily Mail. Shortly thereafter, the same outlet released audio recordings from Josh's FBI interrogation. It was well known for some months that Josh did not exactly exonerate himself while speaking with investigators. Only now do we know the absurd depths of his self-incrimination. First, Josh stammers and asks investigators if he's wanted on charges. This is before the agents revealed why they had raided his workplace, by the way. A very anxious Josh then declines the opportunity to confess. "I've watched my friends, answer things, and they get them for conspiracy or for something," the 33-year-old says. That is a truly wild thing to say under almost any circumstances, but especially in this one. Needless to say, the conversation was so incriminating that an explicit confession would have almost been redundant. Now, a new set of photos has served to further incriminate Josh. As if it weren't already abundantly clear that he's 100% guilty on all charges. In images obtained by The Sun, Duggar is seen smiling at his laptop screen as he sits in the filthy office where he committed his crimes. The laptop Josh is using in the photo is not the device on which he allegedly downloaded dozens of explicit images, some of them depicting children. However, the desktop computer whose hard drive was later used to convict Josh is just inches away, on the very same desk. Throughout his trial, Josh's lawyers argued that despite the fact that the computer was kept in an office that was used solely by Josh, there was insufficient evidence to indicate that he was the one who downloaded the illicit materials. Now, the defense is doubling down on those claims for their client's appeal. Josh's lawyers claim that the CSAM were downloaded by Caleb Williams, who was an employee of Josh's prior to the federal raids that closed down his used car dealership in 2019. They claim that Williams framed Josh in order to distract attention from his own crimes. It was a far-fetched argument to begin with, and it seems even more ridiculous in light of the evidence that's been released this week. The photos of Josh's office make it clear that only one person could fit in there at a time, and the digital combination lock on the door means it's unlikely that anyone entered the space without the boss' knowledge and permission. In other words, if you were nervous that Josh's appeal would be successful, you can probably rest easy. This pervert will almost certainly be locked up for many years to come. It won't unruin the lives of the little girls exploited and abused on video, but let's hope that the publicity of Josh's conviction can scare others out of seeking out CSAM.